Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, when it comes to spiritual enlightenment or spiritual freedom, accepting any belief or rejecting belief is not spiritual enlightenment, is not spiritual freedom. Why? Because truth is not the belief. The enlightenment journey is not about holding on to belief or rejecting belief. To enlighten oneself, to see the truth, one must let go of all beliefs. So, accepting any belief is accepting the mind. And mind is not true when it comes to spiritual enlightenment. Mind is a realm of changing. It's always changing, upgrading. And truth is constant, unchanging. So, holding on to any belief is anchoring oneself in the mind. Yes, that accepting belief can be accepting the highest meaning in life. No matter how highest upgraded the meaning is, still a belief, still an idea, still the mind. And because of that, the inner conflict, the fear is never ending. To dissolve the fear, one must let go of the mind. And rejecting belief is fighting with the mind, still engaging with the mind. So the mind is still there. Rejecting certain belief can come from the place of experience that the belief doesn't work. And when the experience comes, when the experience came like that, the belief doesn't work, then there is a resistance to that, pushing away, especially when you are in the environment, when everybody is following certain belief, and you see that that belief is just make belief. When you realize that, then there is a resistance to that. That the yeah, basically there's a resistance in the person. So if you have this the 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 feeling of resistance, then that resistance still is coming from the place of the mind. Why? Because again, the true freedom is not about accepting or resisting. Resisting is still a control. When there's a control, there's the control is coming from deeper reasoning. The reasoning that is not explored yet. So it's not accepting or rejecting. Rejecting and accepting is still the flow of the duality. And duality must be dissolved to see the singularity. So, the duality must be dissolved. Now, how to dissolve this meaning? How to dissolve this the resistance attitude in oneself is through investigating. By the way, when you accept and sit with the highest meaning, how to see the highest meaning is not working is through self-reflection. And the reflection, this is a simple reflection, is this meaning helping me dissolve the fear in my life? That's a simple reflection. Is this meaning helping me to be free from the mind? Not just momentary. When you think about the meaning, then the meaning is making you forget the fear. But once you let go that meaning, the fear is still there, isn't it? Fear of something. So all fear must be dismantled, or all fear must be dissolved from the person. So am I living with fear? By the way, holding on to any belief, latching onto any belief itself is a sign of fear. Fear of being nobody. The ego doesn't want to be nobody. Nobody means the death of the ego. Identifying with the belief or the mind is about prolonging the ego's game. So the simple question is this belief is helping me to dissolve the fear for good? And dissolving the fear doesn't take that long, by the way. So self-reflection can help you to see what's happening. So again, how do we dissolve the fear in life? To invite that sense of ease in oneself, how to see the truth, is through investigating, examining our actions and our perception that we are aligned with. Definitely, we have certain perception and we move with that and act on that. So investigating is a simple way to see the nature of the mind, how the mind comes into existence and how the mind becomes real. So right now, some of you are accepting this meaning or rejecting. Right now, why am I accepting this meaning? Why? Just sit with that. Why am I accepting this meaning? Or why am I resisting this idea? So investigate. If you sit with the why, you'll start to see the reasoning to hold on to belief or to reject the belief. Now, when you question why am I accepting or rejecting, there is this superficial answer, and that answer probably is coming from the world. It's not even yours. You heard it, it made sense to you, and you just copied it, and then you're just running your life with that. So Don't just accept that answer. You got to go further to figure out the root cause of holding on to certain belief, or you got to figure out the root cause of rejecting the belief. You got to figure out the root. So how to get to all the way to the root cause of our actions and perception is using that superficial answer. So why am I holding this belief? Why am I attached to this belief? Because everybody is moving with that, something like that. So I also go with it. Now, why is that important? Why? Now there's the next answer. Sit with the why, and no matter what answer comes in, you have to use the answer to undo further. So every answer must be traced back further, and that's the way to figure out the root. And once you figure out the root cause of your attachment or rejection, resistance, you have to dismantle that as well. You have to let go. Now, letting go of the root, just the idea of letting go of the root makes the fear to resurface, isn't it? So, when the fear resurfaces, you investigate further. When the fear resurfaces, you don't go right away latch into that belief again. You investigate. If the fear is resurfacing, if when you see the fear, it's a good thing in the spiritual journey. Now you can actually deepen your inward journey through fear. Fear is the major source of struggle, pain, the emotional fluctuation. Fear is the reason that we are suffering. When there's a fear, fear makes you control, fear makes you resist, fear makes you run, isn't it? So fear is the major source of your struggle, your pain. So seeing the fear is a good thing in the spiritual journey. Now, once you see the fear, then you have to investigate. You have to examine the fear. Examining the fear is the way to see why the fear is there in the first place. So ask why. Why do I have this fear of letting go? Why do I have this fear of letting go? And you must let go. The spiritual journey is asking you to let go. Letting go is creating a fear, isn't it? Now, why do I have this fear of letting go? Sit with it. There's a deeper reason behind listening to the fear. So sit with the why. And that's the way to thoroughly understand the nature of the mind. And when there's an understanding of the nature of mind, then when you ask yourself, who am I? That's where you click. So, tracing back any belief and a fear will help you to understand the mind, to become thorough of your mind, and to wake up to the truth. One must be thorough. Enlightenment journey is about being thorough. So if we skipping the dismantling part, then there's always uncertainty. There's always fear. That's why we latch into the fear, or we reject, you know, sudden belief to accept another one. So, but neither of them is true when it comes to spiritual enlightenment. That's why one must need to investigate. That's why one must need to investigate one's own perception and action. Okay? So, simple journey, enlightenment journey is about examining the fear, examining one's belief, examining one's attachment. By the way, you cannot let go completely until you see the truth. Only by seeing the spiritual truth, only by seeing the absolute truth in oneself, makes the person to let things be. Seeing the truth makes the person to let go. Without seeing the truth, the person cannot let go. The individual cannot let go. If you said, no, we can let go, if you have this uh, defensiveness coming in, then your letting go is coming from the place of uh, refinement. Your letting go is like is the act of getting rid of something to create a space for something to come in. So you're just switching. It's just a refining happening, and the refining is still, yeah, holding on to the mind. So, and that is not true. That approach is not true when it comes to enlightenment journey. When it comes to spiritual enlightenment, spiritual enlightenment is about letting go of all beliefs, and that can only happen when you see the truth. Okay. Uh, I hope this video makes sense. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care for now. Bye.